Week 2 of 10, Berlin or Bust. Going to try and keep things a bit shorter this week, as having looked back at the video from last week, I was certainly rambling a little bit, so sorry about that. This week on the whole went pretty well. I basically did exactly the same amount of miles as last week, so 101 and a half. And indeed I replicated the same session as I did last week. But I did it on the road this time as opposed to on the treadmill. So it was 20 minutes at marathon effort, 4 times 3 minutes, harder, and then another 20 minutes at marathon effort. The first 20 minutes came in around 5:38 pace, and then the 3-minute efforts were around 5:10s. Or just under, and then the final 20-minute section I was actually slowing quite substantially, so I cut it short to 15 minutes and average 5:47 pace on those. So I think really that was as a result of possibly overcooking the 3-minute intervals a little bit too much, and but at least I was sensible, cutting it short. Mike Baxter, my coach, kindly reminded me last week that I'd been a little bit idiotic trying to do 2 hard sessions with only 1 easy day between. So that was very much at the forefront of my mind, and decided to cut the session short when I felt it was feeling a little bit too tough. I then did, as the week progressed, I actually started to feel quite tired, quite run down, and so on Saturday I actually only did an easy 6-mile run, as opposed to probably a more standard sort of 10-11 miles with a and then an easier run later in the day as a recovery. So what that did mean was that I was quite nicely fresh for my long run yesterday, which was 20 miles with 17 miles progressive. The 17-mile section average 5:50 per mile, and the last mile I think was under 5:30. So a really decent workout, that one. Also introduced some heat acclimation runs back into my training, so hopefully that should help shift the timber as well as boosting the aerobic fitness of myself, and on that note I have seen an improvement, quite a significant one, on aerobic efficiency, with the average beats per mile dropping down to 1009 beats per mile from 1090 last week, and once I get below that sub 1000 beats per mile I start feeling really quite strong, really quite fit. With that in mind, weight has dropped a little bit as well. Importantly, the body fat has dropped over a pound according to my scale, so that's all good. Now got 8 weeks until the race, and so what that means is I've got 6 weeks really of hard training, 1 week of sharpening, and then a 1 week proper taper. So feel really ready now to really get moving with things, and start building the fitness from here. So that's it, short and sweet. Hopefully it's been a bit more watchable than last week, and I'll catch up with you next week. Cheers, bye.